Hey guys, welcome back. Today I come up with another video and I'm going to solve uh, another machine in this video. The machine name is Spider from Hackthebox. So just want to give you a brief introduction about this machine. So in the initial scan with Nmap, we found two ports are open. One is 22 and the another one is 80. We visited to port number 80 and we found that there is web application running, and that web application basically vulnerable to SSTI, that is server side template injection. And once we successfully exploit that vulnerability and we got the reverse shell, so we are directly got the user reverse shell. Then after that, after initial enumeration, in the basic enumeration part, we find that there is one more application running on port 8080 on the local server. So we need to take the SSH port forward. We make SSH port forwarding, and then we got that the second application is also vulnerable, but this time it's vulnerable for XXE, that is XML external entity. Now, after the successful exploit for XXE, we found the IDRSA key of the root user and we successfully compromised the whole system. So that's been said, let's jump to the lab. So for the initial scan, I used nmap space hyphen v for verbosity space hyphen s capital V for version enumeration space hyphen s and capital C for default scripts, and the target IP is 10.10.10.243 space hyphen to save the result. I use this uh, default.nmap. Okay, so I already run that, and to save the time, so I just want to show you this result. So as you can see, port number 22 and port number 80 is open. So next thing is I already added this IP with spider.hdb in the etc host file. You should also do that. So I'm gonna clear this and go to the browser. So in the browser, just wanna http://spider.hackthebox, enter, and we will find this application running. So this application basically seems like some kind of shopping application where they sell the chairs. Next important thing is we find one admin, and once we click on admin, it should go to the main page, but it's not going anywhere, and it's redirect us to the login page. So okay, so it means maybe admin is the valid user there. So in nmap we found 22 and we found port number 80. Then in the application we found one user named as admin, right? But we do not have its credentials. So if we go to checkout, it should redirect us to the /checkout page, but it did nothing. So next thing, we can see any product. So let's go to this product, and we found that there is chair posted by user Shiv. So we got another user and its name is Shiv. Okay, so quantity we can add as many as we want, and if we make add to cart, so yeah, it added actually, but how many chairs it add? No, we do not need. So okay, go to the checkout now. Let's see, and we got this here. We need to make first name, last name, company name, etc. So if we did, okay, first name is AAA, last name is BB, company name nothing, email aa@spider.hackthebox, United States address AAA, town AAA, zip code 1234, phone number 123456789, leave a comment. So let's see, and I also want to do this request with the burp suite. So whatever is that, and create an account shipped to our different address. No, so cash on delivery, let's go and check this out. So when we make checkout, it did nothing actually. And if we choose another option, that is PayPal, it did nothing, right? So we are not getting anything here. Fine. So I'm going to go back to my card and I need to check this out, how we can add this. So go to chairs. So let's just go to another product, that is 2, and come here, and I want to add this. So add to the cart, and once we did add to the cart, we got one post request, and if we see that post request quantity is 1 and new item is 2, item number 2. Fine. So another part is this session ID seems interesting, so I take this session ID, copy this, go to the decoder and paste that session ID and decode as base64. So as you can see, the cart item, because we add one item in the cart, so it is showing 1, and another part is gibberish. So if we take this out, so it comes like that, and if we take this out, so you can see one chair we make, right? So I'm going back to the home page and turn off the proxy. So okay, so I'm going to register a user. So once I register this user, I wanna say test 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 and submit. So once we submit, the application automatically generated a unique user ID for us for this test user, and instead of username it's using UUID for the user. So the password is 1 2 3 4 5 6, and as you can see, we are logged in as test, and we get one more tab, that is user information. And once we go into the user information, we will find that test username is there with the unique user ID, right? So that takes my attention, that whatever username I register, its name is here, and once we go to the user information page, that test user is in this page. So what happened in server-side template injection is the application using the templates of the pages. So whatever value uh, related to the user or input by the user, that value taken from one place and put it into the page template and show to the user like that, right? I'm going to test this application for the server-side template injection vulnerability. So I'm going to log out from here, and for server-side template injection, I will prefer you this book because it has tons of contents with the explanation. So you can see here what is server-side template injection. So it occurs when an attacker is able to use native template syntax to inject a malicious payload into the template, right? So template engines are designed to generate web pages by combining fixed templates with volatile data, right? So, okay, so I'm going to test this payload first to check the to test this application. Go to the registered page, and I'm going to register with 7 into 7, or you can make 5 into 5, whatever you need. So 7 into 7 and 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, enter. And once we enter, it generates a unique user ID for us. Let's log in 1 2 3 4 5 6, and we are logged in as 7 into 7. So here it just take the name as a string, but once we go to the user information, we will find that we have the result of 7 into 7, that is 49. So with this, we are sure that this application is vulnerable to server-side template injection, but now we need to put another payloads, right? Test another payloads. So go back, and one more source I want to show, that is payload all the thing SSTI template injection. So go down and server-side template injection, and you can see here. So we use this means Jinja 2 or Twig or something like that. Now go down, JED Java, we do not need Java because it's using Jinja 2. So this one, basic injection. We already use this payload. We know that it's vulnerable to the SSTI. Now we need to test some configuration. So copy this and come here. Go back to the registration page. Paste this value, and 126, 126. Enter. And as you can see, username cannot be longer than 10 characters, and that makes this web application more hard to exploit because you need to run a payload to read the file or to make the reverse shell, but you cannot insert here more than 10 characters. So what I can do, I can remove the items, just config and copy and paste here 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 and enter. And this seems working because there are no more than 10 characters. So I'm going to log in. So once you log in, you found that okay, go to the user information, and once you go to the user information, you find okay, all the configuration is there. So I'm going to Control A and Control C for copy and paste it here. So if you see this output, you will find you got a secret key. So this secret key is going to be very important. Okay, so desktop spider and spider.text. Okay. Next thing is another part. If we go to the inspect element, so I am going to storage option, and we will see what session ID we have. So I'm going to copy this session ID, and there is one more tool which we will use, that is Flask Unsign. So if you do not have that tool, you can install it with pip3 install and Flask -unsign, like that. So I already installed this. So what I'm gonna do is Flask -unsign and space -h, so that we can use more option. Okay, so I already want to mention one thing here, that once I did that machine, I ran the GoBuster for the directory enumeration and for the subdomain enumeration, but there are results for the directory enumeration, but already all those directories are here in this web application. So nothing is hidden in the enumeration part, and for the subdomain enumeration, so there is no subdomain. So I do not find any subdomain. Fine. So let's see this. So you can use Flask -unsign and space -d for decode, space -c for the cookie. So because I already copied that cookie, I'm gonna paste it here and just hit enter. So if you enter, you will find that okay, uh, there are few items in the cart, and this is my unique user ID, right? So okay, so the next thing is because as you see here that this is a JSON format value where the unique user ID is there and the cart item. But if we see this Flask unsigned tool, you will find that you can also sign the value. So here we are decoding the value. So maybe if we found this unique user ID for the Shiv user or the admin user, we will be able to access more options in this application because maybe they are admin, so they have more privileges for this application, right? So we can sign this, but up to now we just have the secret key, and with that secret key, as you can see here, secret key to sign a new session cookie with, generally obtained by brute forcing a known session using unsigned node. This argument is affected by the no literal eval. So that thing takes my attention, and I tried the SQL map with the eval function to sign the cookie, so that maybe that is vulnerable to SQLi, because I tried few things and it seems from here, from the application, it does not seems like there is SQL injection. So I'm going to use SQL map and I want to show you how you can use it. So SQL map space -hh, that will show all the arguments for SQL map. So if you go up, 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 where is it? Yeah, this one. So with that argument, you can import any Python module and you can use its functions, okay, of that module. So I'm going to use SQL map space -u http:// and spider.hackthebox, then --eval, and inside eval I'm going to import from Flask underscore unsigned, because this is a module in the Python. So Flask underscore unsigned, import session as sys, right? Then semicolon, and let's make it smaller, give it more space, fine. Next thing, session equal to sys dot sign. So if you remember, in the Flask unsigned, there is an argument with which you can sign the session ID or sign the session with the secret key, and we already have secret key. So sign, and what we need to sign is in the same format like we decode before. So I'm going to use UUID, right, and with the session. Okay, another thing is we need to specify the secret. So secret equals to, and we need to paste here the secret key. So where is our secret key? So copy this key and paste it here. This is going to be our secret key. Fine. So, and next thing is cookie. So cookie, it will take the cookie value from the session. So session and cookie value is going to be this, and session equals to star anything start with session and any value of that. So it will take it from the session, and I'm going to dump, right? So let's hope for the best and let's see, enter. Yes. So, and it takes us, because I already compromised this machine, so maybe this takes from the session created by the SQL map before. So uh, maybe once you did this, you will find more questions asked by SQL map, right? Okay, so here the interesting part is you have a hidden directory and it said fix the portal. So maybe there is some kind of portal in this hidden directory, and that is the interesting thing. So the database name is shop, table name is users, and we have all the usernames and password here, right? So I'm going to take uh, this value, what we got. So I'm going to copy this, paste it here, and another part I'm going to take this. You can take screenshots also, so copy and paste it here. Fine. So let's see. Go back, log out from here, and log in again. But this time I'm going to log in with this Shiv username. So it is actually need the unique user ID for the as the username. So I'm going to put this here, and the password is this. So copy and paste it here. Submit and enter. So if you go to the view message, so there is a message same like what we found already in the SQL map, that this is the hidden directory. So we can now access this directory. So copy this directory and here paste it, enter, and as you can see, submit a support ticket, welcome to the support portal. So as we know that this application is using the template pages, so and this application is vulnerable to the SSTI. So maybe this page also vulnerable to SSTI. I use here the reverse shell payload and that works. So if you go to the hack tricks and if you take this, so copy and paste it here so that we can change what we need. And as you can see, this is the base64 payload. So if we take cut from here, go to the bug suite and decoder and paste it here, and as you can see, this is the reverse shell payload. So I'm gonna take this, Control X, and here I want to paste, and instead of this my IP is 149 and it is using port number 9001. You can change this, but no problem, we can use this also. So I'm going to encode it as base64. So this is gonna be our base64 encoded payload. Copy this and paste it here. Fine. Now we are ready to run this script. So copy this script, and before going there, just clear and nc space hyphen nlvp 9001, start the listener and paste that value here and here, both places. So any of this vulnerable to SSTI, it is gonna work. Submit, and as we submit, we got result that is very fast. So ID, who am I, and host name. So as you can see, we are the Shiv user on the Spider machine, and this is the ID. So in my uname stays -a. So this is for version, what version it is using. Then net state space -tlpn, and this is what I got. So as you can see here, 3306, that port is that port is for MySQL service, and that service running locally on that port. Okay, and 8080, another service running on 8080, but that service also running locally. That's why we cannot access and we cannot scan that in the nmap scan. So to try what actually is running on that, so on that port, so I just make it like that, dot 1 colon 8080, enter, and you will find you should be redirected automatically to the target and to the login page. Fine. So but what's in the login page, we don't know. So I'm gonna enter just one more time curl http colon slash slash 127.0.0.1 colon 8080 slash login. Let's see what's in the login page. So as you can see here, uh, email and using function on blur. So username, and there are actually two fields, and the first one is the username, this one, and another field is hidden field, that is id equal to version, name equal to version, value equal to this. So this is interesting, and we can make the port forwarding, SSH port forwarding, but for that we need the IDRSA. So cat slash etc slash password, I can see how many users are there which can run bin bash, enter, and we can see only two users are there, root and shiv, and we are already as shiv user, right? So let's see if there is any private IDRSA key is there or not. So cd, okay, ls-la, so we find that .ssh is there, cd .ssh ls-la, and IDRSA key is there. So I'm gonna cat id underscore RSA, enter, and we find the IDRSA key. I'm going to copy this and paste in a new tab. So paste it here, save it as shiv underscore id underscore RSA, enter, go back to the terminal here, clear, and I'm going to make it a bit more visible. So chmod 600 and shiv IDRSA, enter. So ssh space hyphen I and shiv IDRSA shiv at spider.hackthebox, enter. Let's see, and we are shiv user. So now I don't need this. I'm going to exit from here, right? Clear this, and I'm going to, yeah, okay, fine. Up to now we get the user. Now for root, as we already have the port number 8080, there is one service running, and that is a web service. So we need to see that, and for that we need SSH port forwarding. So I'm going to do that, SSH space hyphen I, and I'm going to add the key IDRSA space hyphen capital L. So 8080 colon 127.0.0.1 8080 and shiv as spider.hackthebox, enter. So if it successfully login, means yeah, we got it. Go back to the web browser, and here this time I'm going to open 127.0.0.1 because now I can access that service on my local machine. Enter, and yeah, we got the beta version of that. So it said beta login and it needs username. So if I just make sign in, nothing happens. So we need a user for this. So let's try, we already created, let's try the user shiv, right? Enter, and yes, fine. So this user is here. Also, there are more users like test, 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 how many times? Fine. So let's see. This is also like a shopping cart site. So total is 1527. I don't know. If you make anything, you are just gonna stay here. But one thing I can do for this, and that is go buster dir and space -z space -w / user share word list and dub /common dot text space -u is http://127.0.0.1:8080. So maybe there is some kind of directory. And also in the horizontal tab cd desktop spider, and I wanna run okay, let's leave it running here. Let's see, go to the burp again and I go to the proxy. Fine. Another thing what we can do is go to the burp and let's just make it test. So make us login, go to the post request for the /login, and this is same like before. And as we before see that there are two parameters, username and the version. So username is test and this version is hidden. So, and here we also get in the response application is setting another cookie session value, and this is its length is too much. So that takes my attention. So let's inspect element here and go to the storage and copy this value. So Control A, copy, and with the flask -unsign, and I want to decode this value, and this is the cookie value. So paste it here and let's okay. So we got result and this is the result. So I'm going to copy this, copy and paste it here. Fine. So as we can see that this is also in JSON format or dictionary format if it's like Python. So because Python use these curly braces for the dictionary, no problem. But we can see here this is LXML and the value is in byte. So that confirms that Python, this is coming from the Python from somewhere, because the data type is bytes. Okay, so this value is also seems like base 64. So I'm going to copy this value, go to the don't need this. Okay, go to the decoder once again and paste that value here, and this time I'm going to decode, and once we decode we found this value. So copy this and go back here and paste it here, and this seems like this is XML, and it proves by this is the value. XML means whatever username you are putting, it is using XML to bring that username, and it is gonna decide okay the user is admin or not, so it is always gonna say 0. Fine. So this is good up to now. So if there is XML, so maybe we can check the XXE, because XML external entity vulnerability could be there. Let's see. So if we go there, payload all the things, and here, yeah. So for detection of the vulnerability, so as you can see this output and this output, it is very much similar, right? So instead of this here, you will see the API version, and another thing is document doc type replace entity, that is actually not here, but rest of the things like this. So root data, and inside that username is admin. So we can check for this vulnerability by this, but one thing is there, and what is that? Whatever you put value in the wait logout. So whatever you put the value for the username here, okay, it's gonna take this value and create a XML, and in that XML it is gonna put this value in the username, and then it shows creates a cookie and it shows you on the page also in the welcome page, right? So let's see, I'm going to use the proxy, go to intercept is on, and just try this. Be sure that your proxy is on. So test, enter, and here this is the username and version. So I'm gonna take this value from here, okay, copy this value and paste it here. But as we see the output, we will see it is in that form. So I'm going to do close this, right, and then start this document root plus and plus test. So because test is the user, so test and file, okay, and I do not need this value. Why? Because as you can see this value, I can just take this value, copy and paste it here, right? So I don't need all of this, but we need to close like that. Fine. Okay, so let's try this. Test root test system file etc password, and actually we can do one more thing, dot dot. Let's see, forward, and what happened? Nothing. So let's try that one more time. Test, enter, and I'm going to make it like this, and then copy and paste this value here, okay, and actually we need to make it URL encode, otherwise it will assume that test is another parameter, not the value of username. So maybe because of that it does not work. And from here to here we also need to URL encode. Also we do not need this value, so just make it like this, and here actually we need this, right? So just forward this value and it assign a cookie, post method request equal to so this is the request and I want to take this request, so copy this and come here, control A, paste and decode as this 64, but we do not find anything, so we will check this later, but first go to the proxy. So key is this, and HTTP method post request, enter, session ID, enter, and yes. So as you can see, we can read the system files, right? So view page source, and you can see the root user is there and shiv user is there. So same like that, if there is .ssh directory in the root, so ls space hyphen la slash root. So we cannot read from here, no problem. So let's see, I'm going to log out from here, and this time I will read the file from forward. Okay, so this time test, enter, and we need to make it like that, this, and it needs URL encode, so make it control U. Then I need to close this and then just copy this value and paste it here. Again, we do not need all of this, so make it like that, and come here, make it plus, or you can just make it control U after selecting this whole script, string, and here make it like this, and file, this time I want to read dot not etc, so slash root and dot ssh slash id underscore rsa. So hopefully this will bring us the right file. Go back here, forward, and yes, that is correct. So go to the page source again, close this one, and copy this id rsa key for the root. So copy this, and in the new section just close the shiv one and paste it here, save it as root underscore id underscore rsa, enter, come here, and yeah, clear this, and chmod 600 and root id rsa, enter, ssh space hyphen I and root id rsa, root at spider.hackthebox, enter, and we are root. So id and who am I and host name, and if you want you can see you have the root flag here, you can read it. So this is actually hard machine until you find the correct way to exploit the vulnerability, because once I did that machine, I took too much time, because simultaneously I have a lot of things in my mind. So I tested for SQL injection, I tested for other vulnerabilities. So I have to test each and every link, each and every page of that application. But once you get the vulnerability confirmed, you will get away, right? So thank you very much for watching this video, and thank you very much for all your support. If you like this video and if you like the content, so please like, subscribe and share. See you in the next video. Bye.